The Argos and Ticats, 124 years in the making. Good evening and welcome to part two of our Labor Day doubleheader here at Hamilton. The Argos #1 in the league at 7-2. The Ticats dead last at 1-8 and winless here at home. And they'll be wearing new uniforms tonight, perhaps an effort to start anew and trying to win here at Ivor for the first time. And might they seek some inspiration from wide receiver Earl Winfield, who may be wearing his new jersey for the first time and last time. The Ticats record-breaking receiver is expected to retire and to leave for an education position in Virginia right after this football game. At the half, we'll feature Matt Dunnigan, starting over as a college coach. The CFL's record-setting former quarterback talks frankly 1 year after a head injury robbed him of his career in his prime. Matt Dunnigan at the half here in Hamilton. Beautiful conditions on a warm September evening. Temperature about 23 degrees. Just a hint of wind. You can taste the steel mills in the air. And nothing comes tougher than a game at Ivor. We're ready for the opening kickoff. Let's go to Chris and Dave.
Well, Mark, both of us are relieved that there's no snow in the forecast for this meeting, although that would have brought great memories back for Don Matthews, now just 2 victories shy of Frank Clare on the all-time victory list in the Canadian Football League. And at the other side, Urban Bowman. Remember, he was the interim coach in Winnipeg when they went to the Grey Cup in '92. We are set. And this is Willie Brown, the newcomer, playing his first game, and Brown lowers the shoulder. He's out to the 39. We've had the first Oski wee-wees of the night, and we're ready to see if the Ticats can eat them raw tonight, led by Anthony Calvillo.
Well, having a chance to be down on the field, there's a tremendous amount of motion going on, and this guy right here needs to keep his poise. He needs to stay in the game mentally and keep on an even keel so everybody around him can blend with him. He's played extremely well the last 2 weeks.
393 yards last week against a tough defense in Edmonton. First down, Archie Amerson will go right side, flags down. Amerson ran through a couple of tackles and steps out of bounds about the 43. Referee for the game is Jake Ireland. Third of 4 meetings between these two teams. Offside the call against the Tiger Cats.
Well, this offensive line is Val St. Germain has taken the place of Jude St. John, who had a knee injury a couple of weeks ago, and he can play both guard and tackle. That's why he slid to the tackle spot. And of course, we talked about Earl Winfield. He's an emotional leader as well as a great player. Had a super week last week, 2 touchdown catches.
And there is extra emotion tonight because it looks like this will in all likelihood be the final game of Earl Winfield's outstanding career. First down over, 1st and 15, and then a throw in the flat complete, and that's Amerson out of the backfield with the catch, and he's up to the 39-yard line. He gets the 5 back after the flag.
Well, this Toronto defense is based by a great group up front. Rob Waldrop is having an all-pro year again this year. Mike O'Shea received tremendous boos when he was announced here tonight. And of course, Charles Anthony coming back. He was part of those Baltimore teams that played in back-to-back Grey Cups.
Well, the reaction didn't bother O'Shea last time here. 8 tackles and a sack. It's 2nd and 10, and Calvillo checking off at the line of scrimmage. Calvillo steps up underneath. There's Winfield, and he could go a long way. Winfield tracked down by Adrian Smith, who did a nice job of cutting Winfield off at the pass. Nevertheless, the veteran has a 21-yard gain.
Well, I really feel it's important for Hamilton to be positive on first down, and by that I mean keep themselves in conversion situations, short and medium, like 5 yards. They didn't do that on this series, but Calvillo's scrambling ability and the heady play of Earl Winfield coming across to get open for him has extended this drive.
Catch number 569 for Winfield, who came out of retirement to rejoin the Tiger Cats. More on his story as the game develops. Here's Amerson, and on the ground, taken down by Ken Benson at the Argo 44. So Anthony Calvillo and the Tiger Cats looking sharp in the early going.
Well, another one of the youngsters on this ball club, Archie Amerson, a rookie. He won the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy in Division I AA, the Walter Payton Award in college. He had 100 yards against this team last time they played.
7 yards on the pickup for Amerson. And now he sets his receiver to the left side on 2nd and 3. Lee Knight, the lone running back. And here is the option to Knight, and he'll put his head down and is dragged out of bounds. That should be a first down again. Ken Benson, the Argo tackler.
Well, you always like to have the element of surprise in your offense, and I guarantee you I'm surprised that Lee Knight's on the end of an option play, but Lee powered through Benson there to get the first down because he hadn't established himself as a first down run there until he actually made contact with Benson.
Argonauts with the #1 rated defense in the league, overshadowed by Flutie, Drummond, and Clemens, but this group may be as good as Don Matthews has ever assembled. Here's Calvillo, looked right, looked left, and he'll take Amerson, who's wide open. Archie Amerson down the sidelines. O'Shea takes him out at the 19. I'll tell you what, Dave, Calvillo had all day, and that hasn't happened a lot this year.
Well, 2 positive plays come out of this. 2 positive things come out of this as we see Archie Amerson still down. Can ill afford to lose that young man. Anthony Calvillo gets good protection, which is a positive for Hamilton, and he's patient. He drops the ball off to Archie Amerson, who I feel has a chance to maybe be the MVP of this ball club. He can do everything well. He runs the ball well, and he does this well. He checks down for Anthony Calvillo, and once he feels he's got daylight, he gets upfield.
O'Shea taking him out at the sidelines. Amerson in the pinball category at 5'8", 175 pounds, and he's being helped off. Calvillo 3 for 3 to start proceedings tonight, 46 yards. And Willie Brown will check in, and Brown was expected to see a lot of work tonight. It's his first CFL game, and Urban Bowman gave you the impression yesterday that he thinks Willie Brown's something special.
Yeah, he was really excited. His eyes lit up when he had a chance to talk about Willie. He says he's real versatile, more of a halfback type, but he's going to play a little fullback tonight also.
Sets up as a receiver. He's #7. First down from the Argo 19. Winfield, and off his fingertips, incomplete. Donald Smith watching Earl Winfield.
Well, this is a situation where you need to keep the ball down. Anthony Calvillo airmails this one a little bit. As a receiver coming in at you, you need to throw it right at the numbers. That's a tough catch for a receiver coming back to the football and have it go up high. They got to climb the ladder, try to make the catch. That's a tall receiver in Winfield at 6 feet, but that was a little too tall for him.
So 2nd and 10. Hamilton in Argo territory. Calvillo pumps once. He's looking for Winfield in the end zone, and it's incomplete. Donald Smith didn't bite on that pump from Calvillo.
Well, they like to do the hitch and go, which means Calvillo will pump the ball to Earl Winfield about six yards down the field, and then have Earl take off. And Earl's the best in the league at this, climbing the defensive back's frame to make a catch. The problem with that is Calvillo didn't give an opportunity. He threw the ball too deep into the end zone. Got to underthrow that, let Earl go up and get it.
It hasn't been vintage Paul Osbaldiston so far this season, 10 of 17. Far more effective in the punting department. Osbaldiston from 26 yards out. He's got that one. And the Tiger Cats score on their opening drive. Urban Bowman likes the way this is starting. It's 3-0 for the Hamilton Tiger Cats early.
You're the type that likes to start early.
Yeah. Hey, look at that cloud over there. Weird shape, man.
That's okay. We're ready when you are.
Get this thing out.
GMC Sierra. 365 days a year.
The look and shape of music have changed. Combine cutting-edge CD technology with 20 hits from today's hottest stars. The sound is hip-hoppin', the look is eye-poppin'. To order, have your credit card ready and call 1-888-823-4777. With each purchase, you may win Reebok and Major League Baseball gear and a dream trip to the World Series. Supplies of these collector CDs are limited. Operators are standing by. Call 1-888-823-4777.
When is the best time to install Unilock paving stones? Right about now, because you'll make no payments and pay no interest till the spring of '98 on any Unilock installation. Do it now. You'll save yourself a bundle. Plus, call today and receive our free design video, a must before you start any landscaping project. Get the prestige and beauty of Unilock. Call 1-800-UNILOCK and pay nothing till the spring. But you have to call right about now.
Well, if it's Labor Day, we must be in Hamilton at Ivor Wynne Stadium. Well, they just changed the score. You know things are going bad for you this year when you score the first points of the game and they put it in the visitors category. They had the Argos leading 3-0, but it was an Osbaldiston 26-yard field goal. Hamilton has drawn first blood here. Here's Mike Clemens. And Clemens driven down at the 32-yard line by Cooper Harris, who was wearing blue and white last year in the Grey Cup game for the Argonauts. Doug Flutie, they tell us 100% for the first time this year. Nagging injuries through the first half. Nevertheless, still 2 more touchdowns than a year ago at this time.
Well, I had a chance to talk to him before the game, and he reiterated the fact that this was the first time he'd been 100% going into a ball game in several weeks.
Extra days off for Flutie. In fact, Don Matthews gave the entire team 4 days off, and then Saturday. He thought the team was peaking too quickly. There's a little swing pass out to Mitchell. He's in trouble and nailed. Big play by Frank West to finish off Mitchell, and we expected this Hamilton defense to come fired up.
Well, this offensive line is anchored by a guy that I've played several years with, Mike Kislak. He was the MVP offensive lineman last year in this league, and this group here is pretty much unsung. Flutie gets the credit, but these guys make a lot of plays. Mike Saunders, another ex-teammate of mine, playing the slot.
Mitchell lost 4, 2nd and 14. There's the rush, underneath it goes, that's Mitchell again. And Mitchell somehow squirts through to the 40. He'll still be 2 yards shy of a first down. Daryl Mitchell, a rookie who the Argos think very highly of, and why not? He leads the team in receiving yardage.
Well, the defense has already risen to the occasion here, Chris. This is what they do best. They limit you on first down, and then they rally to the football when the ball's thrown underneath on second down. A 2 and out. They couldn't have written a better script for themselves, get points on their opening drive, and come out and stop Doug Flutie and company on Toronto's offering.
Oakville's Mike Vanderjagt, the top Canadian in the Grey Cup game here last year, 5 for 5 in the field goal department, steps onto the field. And he's kicking to Orlando Steinauer. There's a fake, and Robert Drummond, will he get to the first down? It'll be close. This will depend on the spot. The Argo offense already coming back on the field. And they do say first down, so it's Labor Day, and
well, whenever we played against a Don Matthews team, we always were assured of the fact that he had a couple of these plays in the game plan, and he unveils one right away, and this jump starts his offense now, extends a drive.
Did we not see that play? Baltimore against San Antonio in a Southern semifinal a couple of years ago, Southern final, I think, with Robert Drummond. First down, Drummond. Trouble with the handoff. He's up to the 45. Gain of 2 and a flag down, and you can tell already that tempers are short.
Having a chance to speak with Mike Philbrick before the game. He talked about creating havoc. As you see, an illegal procedure call against the Toronto offense. They wanted to create havoc inside, and this guy right here, Willie Whitehead, in my estimation, in my definition, a fire breather. He comes every play. He's in your face all night long. Tremendous player. Calvin Tiggle anchors this defense. Pretty good linebackers, can all run. Calvin is the guy that calls the defenses. Orlando Steinauer, the second leading interceptor in the league. This is the top interception group in a secondary in the league.
This is not a 1-8 defense.
Not by any stretch. This is a good playoff defense.
They're in the top 2 and 8 of 25 defensive categories. 2nd and 8. Here comes the rush. Flutie got it to Clemens, incomplete. He wasn't going to get anywhere near the first down anyway. Good coverage by Gerald Vaughn, and the fans on their feet early here to salute a fired-up Tiger Cat D.
Well, Pinball Clemens leads the league in receptions, and these are a lot of the kind of catches he makes. He's outlets. He gets in the flat. Doug is pressured there by Mike Campbell and just can't be real accurate with the throw. Even if he caught it, you see the defense rallying to make the stop short of the first down.
Well, this time we expect Vanderjagt to kick the ball to either Kenny Wilhite or Orlando Steinauer. Previous two meetings between these two teams, close games. Argonauts winning 20-15 in week number 2. Antonio Bonner with a interception on the final play. And in week 4 it was 27-20. Robert Drummond with a touchdown in the final minute, and then Mike Colley was sacked on the Argo 16 on the final play of the game. So they've gone down to the wire.
They really have. Herb Bowman is stressed, going out and having a good time. And you could tell by talking to him, he's having fun himself.
Now we're set with 8.5 minutes to go in the quarter. High snap. Vanderjagt in trouble, and he passes behind Dimitrichuk. So they turn it over on downs as Vanderjagt had trouble with the snap. So a big start for the Ticats. They've got the ball in Argo territory when we come back.
This afternoon I double-clicked my cranium and opened my mullet. Now I will fake left and go right. I will follow my heart. I will be brave. I will make my mark. I will take no prisoners. I will dare to be damned. I will defy the laws of gravity. I will go the distance. And I will remember where I came from. Next.
Feel the effortless performance. Bask in the total comfort. Relax in the soothing quality. And above all, savor the peace and quiet. As long as you can.
Take the bright side of the road.
The new 1998 Toyota Camry. Take the bright side of the road.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What are you looking for? The Yellow Pages by TeleDirect. Now find all the Yellow Pages directories across Canada on the internet.
Kenny Frere, he came to Herb Bowman and said, hey, I think I can block a punt for us this week, and he almost gets there. He certainly creates this turnover. Watch Frere get through, eats up 2 blockers, and now there's several guys clean, including Justin Ring and Donovan Osborne, or Donovan Wright, and the incompletion forces a great turnover here.
Once again, Calvillo changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Here's the pass to Ashante Smith. He's hammered, but makes the catch in front of Adrian Smith. And the ball will be spotted at the 38 of Toronto. You think Calvillo's seeing something he didn't expect?
No, I think Calvillo's doing a good job. Ashante Smith adjusts this route, hooks up underneath coverage. He knows he's going to get tagged, but what I like about it is he ensures that he catches the football. Now they're in a great position, 2nd and 2.
Knight the lone setback. He takes the handoff and spins for the first down, reaching to the 35. Well, I remember 1991, the Ticats hadn't won a game. The Argos were on the way to the Grey Cup victory. And on Labor Day, a strange thing happened. Hamilton won their first game of the year, and they won it convincingly, 48-24. So the Tiger Cats with a first down at the 36. And here's Willie Brown. And he's met and drilled right at the line of scrimmage. Charles Anthony moved up, and he's the newcomer in that Argo defense, but a veteran as far as Don Matthews is concerned.
Well, Charles Anthony has tremendous size. He's 6'2", about 205 pounds, and he's the size of a lot of the linebackers in this league, which allows him to play around the line of scrimmage. But his versatility is he can go play people in the slot and play good man coverage.
Maybe a yard for Brown, so 2nd and 9. Calvillo moves up under center. Under pressure. Gets it off to Knight, and he's submarine. Nice play by Adrian Smith. And that will be well short of the first down.
Yeah, but that's a good decision by Anthony Calvillo. They bluffed like they were going to come after him. They brought 3, dropped 9 into coverage. There wasn't anything happening downfield. Anthony looked for a lane to run, dropped it off to Lee Knight. Lee Knight, a veteran, set down for his quarterback, found an open area. Although they only picked up about 3 yards, they ensure themselves an opportunity of a field goal.
Lee Knight playing in his 172nd game today, and a guy who did some blocking for Dave Archer last year.
He also caught a couple of touchdown passes for him. He had a big day, had a 3-touchdown game last year.
Oz Baldwin's second attempt from the 38. And Oz misses this to the right side, and Clements will come out with it. Here's Pinball Clements, the all-purpose yardage leader, adding to his totals. And finally, tossed out of bounds at the Argo bench. Pinball, a proud papa for the 2nd time, as his wife gave birth to Raven Simone last Thursday, and our congratulations go out to them. His older daughter, Rachel, 3 years of age, in the crowd cheering her dad on tonight.
If you want to talk about one of the class guys in all the league, Pinball Clemens, what a great guy to be around. He'd be a great teammate. He's a great ambassador for the league, just a super guy.
42 yards on the return of the missed field goal, and he's on pace for almost 4,000 yards all-purpose this season. Going to be 700 over his record. There's a pass completed up at the 36-yard line. That's Paul Mazzotti, the veteran from Stony Creek, but a flag is down. Mazzotti was telling me yesterday that he almost signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, at least considered the option of coming to Hamilton, the team he grew up cheering for.
Procedure, Toronto number 32, repeat first down.
Mike Saunders called for procedure, and that negates the Mazzotti catch.
Well, he evidently has a shorter drive to come here to Ivor Wynn than he does to go to the Sky Dome. From what I was talking to some of his teammates, it's easier for him to come here.
I think he felt there was a shorter drive to the Grey Cup game from Toronto.
Yeah.
5:05 to go. First quarter, 3-0 Hamilton, and Flutie swings it out. Here's big Robert Drummond, and he lunges for the 30-yard line. It's back to the original line of scrimmage. Well, Robert Drummond or Mike Pringle, take your pick. A couple of outstanding players. Pringle, the leading rusher. We saw him at his best on Saturday night. Doug Flutie has just passed Tobin Rote on the all-time pass completion list for Toronto. And a lot of the passes this year have been going inside to Robert Drummond. Second and 8 over the middle. There's Clements in a crossing pattern, and he's dragged down by Melvin Aldridge.
And that's exactly why he's in the game, Chris. Melvin Aldridge is more of a defensive back type. He's only 6'2", about 205 pounds, but he can run. They play this zone defense, fall back. Flutie has to throw the ball underneath. Now you got to rally to the football. Aldridge was a tremendous open field tackle on one of the great open field runners in this league.
Held the gain to just 1. And once again, Vanderchat called upon. We'll be watching to see if John Raposo's snap is a better one this time. Vanderchat gets it away. It'll be Wilhite from his 37. And Wilhite over the 40-yard line. So the Tiger Cats have dominated so far in this first quarter. Just a 3-point lead.
The Springmans know you can't have too much of a good thing.
So it started with my dad.
He bought one and I asked him if I could take it for a spin.
Get your own, sweetheart.
Then my mom bought one. Can I drive? Can I drive?
Why don't you get your own?
And even my brother buys one.
Get your own.
So I did. And now we have 4. Get your own.
Find out why all 4 Springmans endorse our famous Japanese quality. Suzuki. All you have to do is... Right now, lease a 98 Sidekick Sport for just $285 a month.
Some athletic shoes will actually increase your performance. Brooks is one of those shoes. Some manufacturers use leading-edge technology. Brooks is one of those companies. And some companies have athletes endorse their products. Brooks is one of those companies. Of course, we don't pay them much. Brooks, for the everyday athlete.
The death of a princess. The world mourns and wonders. Who's to blame for this tragedy? The life and death of Diana, Princess of Wales. A special edition tonight on The National.
I love this country. You work hard, you make good. Okay, so the winter is not so nice, but it's the best country in the world. Sometimes my children, they don't know how good they got it.
Riverdale, new this fall on CBC.
Welcome back to Ivor Wynn. Chris Cuthbert, Dave Archer, Mark Lee. And the Tiger Cats off to a good start with the 3-point lead. There's Marcelo Simmons, and he has moved from the secondary into the linebacking core. Argo's employing a 3-4, and Dave, I wondered if that wasn't giving Calvillo a different look than he expected tonight.
That's exactly what you alluded to before, Chris, and that's exactly right. He's seeing so many different looks because they have 3 defensive back types up in the linebacker area. It's tough for him to get a read.
There's Calvillo out of the shotgun, swings it. Amerson back in the game, and Archie Amerson found some daylight down that left side. They're going to mark him out at the 49. Boy, that corner opened up, and Amerson shows you he's got good speed. Second and a couple.
He's really a guy that needs to touch the ball, Chris, 25 times in the game, I believe, catching the football and running the ball because he has the ability to make a small play a big one.
He talked about his achievements last year, over 2,000 yards rushing. Second and short situation. Again, it's Amerson, and he bounces it out and has the first down. Argonauts, second toughest team in the league to rush against. And the Hamilton offense, 7th or 8th in just about every category. 7th running the football with under 94 yards a game.
Well, we talked about how celebrated he was in college, and you can see the vision. There was nothing really inside, but because of his quickness and his speed, he bounces it outside, realizes he just needs 2 for first down, and gets it.
Here's Calvillo changing the call again. Looking right side, there's Taylor, and he dropped the football as Marcelo Simmons was ready to unload.
Just a super throw by Anthony Calvillo. He sees that there's a blitz look up. He sees man coverage, and he changes the play to get Pinavere up the seam and Earl Winfield coming underneath. And Avera comes open, and the ball is right on the money. You're going to get tagged in there. Got to make that catch for him, Kenny. They're coming, and Lee Knight and the boys are stepping up. There's the rookie, Quinley. Urban Bowman was real excited about watching him play today.
So it's 2nd and 10, Tiger Cats. Here comes that rush. Outlet to Knight. Lee Knight with a man to beat. Puts his head down. Kim Benson has him out of bounds, only halfway to the first down marker. Into Argo territory, however, at the 51-yard line.
Well, once again, the right decision by AC. He's under pressure. People say, why is he dropping the football off? We got 10 yards to go for a first down. Well, first of all is the pressure. You see Givens and Benson and those guys in there making the play. But second of all, give your guys a chance to come up to bat. Drop the ball off to Lee Knight. He might be able to make somebody miss and get a first down for you, and it minimizes the mistakes. Now they can punt and keep field position.
Calvillo 7 for 10 in this opening quarter, 72 yards, under 2.5 minutes to play. Paul Osbaldiston, 3rd in the CFL in punting, 45.2 yards. Clements from his 15. Pinball swings wide, flag down. And Pinball's going down. Looked like Adrian Smith may have delivered a clip to try and spring Pinball after the 37-yard Osbaldiston punt.
Yeah, Adrian's arguing this call, but he's certainly going to get called. The cornerback for the Toronto Argonauts has a clean block in the back.
Illegal block. Toronto number 12. First down.
So the former Tiger Cat, who had a touchdown on an interception in the Grey Cup game, is called. Well, Orlando Steinauer with 5 interceptions, and we asked him about his early success.
A lot of film study, and a lot of it is just seeing someone what's going on, and a lot of it has to do with
Well, we'll get to his success later, but with a full translation. Right now, the Argonauts not enjoying much success working against this Ticat defense. That's Robert Drummond with the carry. Aldridge and Whitehead on the tackle.
Well, that's the first time they've really tried to run straight ahead. This time they just came off the ball, zone blocked it up front, let Drummond get in there, his big body, 6'3", about 220 pounds, and fall forward. Nice play on first down, 7 yards.
Drummond second in the league in rushing behind Pringle, second in the league in receiving. And number 1 in yards from scrimmage. Second down, Flutie. A lot of steamboats, and now he'll run, and Doug Flutie will scamper out of bounds with the first down ahead of Melvin Aldridge and Frank West.
The reason he picks up this first down is exactly right. Melvin Aldridge is cut off by Pinball Clemens. Pinball makes a great block, allows Flutie to get to the corner. Watch Doug skate out of there now. This is when he's dangerous, but he realizes I need a first down, so I'm going to go get it. Watch Pinball just shield it. Keeps Aldridge from making the play, and Flutie picks up the first down, extends the drive.
And what is Urban Bowman, what was he saying yesterday? The Argos seem to be most successful when Pinball Clemens is catching the ball, running the ball, or delivering the key block, and that's something we don't talk about as much with 31. Second first down for the Argos in the game, and here's Flutie rolling to his right. Billy Whitehead was there to send him back, and now Flutie in real trouble. Unloads the ball, and Masadi comes back, makes the catch. And Masadi lunging for the first down stick. Well, a little street ball from Doug Flutie to Paul Masadi.
And how'd you know Doug was going to look for Masadi? He was in serious trouble. Joe Monfort and Willie Whitehead had him cornered and were coming in for the kill. And he looked to the old veteran, Paul Masadi. Masadi comes all the way back down from his route, makes the catch. Eric Carter, the all-pro corner, fell asleep a little bit here. Needs to be on his coverage a little tighter.
Dave, this is a scramble we might not have seen earlier this season because of the nagging hamstring and foot injuries that Flutie had. Spent the 4 days off playing basketball just to let everybody know that he was feeling better again and is confident he'll have a better second half. Drummond, left side, has a couple to the 32 as the seconds tick away in this opening quarter. And that's a first down for Robert Drummond.
Second leading rusher in the league, Robert Drummond, 6 yards a carry. That's the stat that it's glaring. Talked to Mike Pringle last Saturday when we did that ball game. Pringle said he wanted to try to distance himself from Drummond because he knows Drummond has the ability to put up a big day.
First down should be the final play of the opening quarter. And Flutie guns it out left side. Mitchell up to the 40-yard line. And that is the final play. Mitchell with a pickup of 8 to close out the first quarter with the hometown Cats up by a field goal.
I've seen your face before, my friend, and I feel your strength coming through.
They say that power is an aphrodisiac. This fall, you'll find out it's true.
The look and shape of music have changed. Combine cutting-edge CD technology with 20 hits from today's hottest stars. The sound is hip-hoppin', the look is eye-poppin'. To order, have your credit card ready and call 1-888-823-4777. With each purchase, you may win Reebok and Major League Baseball gear and a dream trip to the World Series. Supplies of these collector CDs are limited. Operators are standing by. Call 1-888-823-4777.
I don't just own my business. I am my business. When you run your own business, there are no sick days.
I treat my customers the way I expect to be treated, like the owner.
Over the years, we've worked with thousands of small businesses, and we've learned something from all of them. Introducing Solutions for Small Business from Bell.
I am the last boss I will ever have.
Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. Mark Lee on the Argo bench with an interested observer at tonight's football game. Jimmy the Jet Cunningham, who broke a bone in his foot at the Bills camp this season. Jimmy, what are you doing here?
Well, I just want to come here and support my team and with my old team, the Argos, and wish them well.
Jimmy, you technically have not been released by the Bills because you're still rehabbing. You're on waivers, but if the Argos offered you a contract, would you be back in the CFL?
No doubt. My bags are already packed. It's just a matter of catching up with them. But I'd love to come back here to Toronto and play for them once again, but the decision isn't mine. That's up to the front office, and maybe in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we could start talking then.
Okay, you heard it from the Jet. He could be in an Argo uniform before the end of the season, Chris.
Don Matthews would, I think, like to see that, but they have not made any real commitment to a decision. On second and short, Drummond lunging high in the air to get the first down. But once Jimmy the Jet is ready to run again, I think those negotiations will open up.
Well, the stats don't really reveal very much other than the fact that both defenses are playing extremely well. You see the yards passing, Doug Flutie with only 34 yards in the first quarter, a bit of a surprise, but it's the way the defense is. You see the defense has stepped up again and held Toronto short. Because it's only about a foot short, I anticipate Toronto going here and let Flutie dive for the first down, but they've played really well. They haven't given up any big plays. They've kept everything in front of them and rallied to the football.
Just to close the book on the Jet, you might be surprised there could be a few more offers.
Yeah, I think that the Jet is going to be a guy that they're going to look at. And this team is Toronto, openly looking for a slot receiver.
Third and short. Flutie, not much of a push. In fact, he's getting pulled back, and I'm not sure. Joe Romolo was pulling Flutie back after he was stood up. Get out of Scarborough. Urban Bowman said, we're going to do some things that'll surprise you for a 1-8 team. Just. So they stay alive. But another indication that the Ticats came with the chin straps done up today.
Well, they've always been a good team in short yardage, and here you see them hunkered down. It's about getting lower than the other team. You see Campbell, Willie Whitehead, Phil Brick all in there, and I think Doug got a pretty generous spot there. I think the defense stood up there a little bit.
First down, and the Ticat fans braying about that spot. There's a throw to Drummond, who stepped in front of Steinauer and has a big catch for Toronto, finally into Hamilton territory at the Cat 45.
Well, this is a tremendous amount of trust in the guy you're throwing the football to, because Orlando Steinauer has tremendous coverage. He just doesn't look back for the ball. Doug knows that Drummond will compete for the football for him. Drummond goes up and makes the catch. Steinauer had good coverage there, just didn't look for the ball.
Robert Drummond was a wide receiver at Syracuse, so he's an exceptional pass receiver, although his receiving stats a little deceptive because he catches so many of those shovel passes. That, though, was a big 23-yard pickup, and now Drummond will do it on the ground. And he's down to the 37-yard line. Gain of 8.
Well, Robert Drummond has the ability to do everything. We just saw him lined up outside wide. Now Philbrick has to try to fill the hole and keep this from get some penetration. He doesn't. He gets buried right there. Willie Whitehead gets kicked out. Drummond right in behind the blocking, and a big 8-yard pickup.
Drummond with 2 100-yard rushing games this year, one against the BC Lions, 100 yards even. He had 133 against Edmonton on the ground. Second and short. And again, Robert Drummond, and he springs this one into the secondary, down to the 24. And Drummond is starting to roll.
Well, short yardage is a situation where if you get the right blocks, you can crease the defense, and you see the crease open right there, and Drummond almost breaks this one. Saturday we saw Sean Millington pop a short yardage play for a touchdown of about 50 yards. Drummond almost took that one to the house.
And he is quite familiar with the end zones here. He had 4 touchdowns in a game last year at Ivor Wynne Stadium. First down, Flutie with time. Has Mazzotti down to the 16-yard line. Steinhauer on the tackle. I was amazed yesterday when Mazzotti said he caught 3 balls last week that aren't even in the playbook. They just kind of drew them up on the sidelines.
Well, this one looked drawn up on the sideline too, because he and Saunders are about a foot from each other when he catches this pass. You see Mike Saunders standing right there. Believe me, folks, you don't want 2 receivers in the same area, but Doug has such a belief in Paul Mazzotti that he'll put the ball in there, and he knows Mazzotti's going to come back and catch it for him.
That's a couple of catches for Mazzotti, who needed only 43 yards for 7,000 in his career. Another second and short situation, and Flutie fakes to Drummond, looks in the end zone, touchdown, Daryl Mitchell.
Well, when you're as positive as Toronto's been on this drive on first down, it puts the defense in a bad situation. Second down and 2. Here's an opportunity for Flutie to fake the ball. They've given the Drummond the ball a couple of times up the middle. This time they fake it to him. They get on the corner, and Daryl Mitchell just splits the coverage, and a beautiful throw from Doug Flutie.
Well, he seems to be getting better each week. Against Saskatchewan in their last game, 3 catches, 99 yards, and a 60-yard touchdown, and took over the team lead in reception yardage. And he has his 5th touchdown of the season. Vanderjagt adds the extra point. 12 plays on the drive. And the Argos have their first lead of the evening.
Oh, hi. It's Midas-sized days, and that's why we can't afford a complete commercial. We couldn't afford the whole screen. But, you know, what we saved, we're passing on to you. For a limited time, Midas will give you a computerized wheel alignment, plus balance all 4 wheels and rotate your tires, all for an amazing $39.95. They even inspect your brakes for free. What a deal. Okay, so you lean in and squint, and the commercial will look perfectly normal. Huh? Midas, the way it should be.
Offer ends September 27th.
I don't just own my business. I am my business.
When you run your own business, there are no sick days.
I treat my customers the way I expect to be treated, like the owner.
Over the years, we've worked with thousands of small businesses, and we've learned something from all of them. Introducing Solutions for Small Business from Bell.
I am the last boss I will ever have.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by the new Bell. We'll earn your business.
Well, there's the brain trust, the Toronto team. That's John Jenkins in the middle. Bill Bradley, the defensive coordinator, left. You see the GM, Eric Tillman, in the back, and Daryl Mitchell with the touchdown catch. These are the kind of drives that Flutie's going to have to make tonight. 12 plays, 103-yard drive, but that's what this defense will make him have to do, and he comes up with a big throw here. Watch Drummond suck the defense in, and then Flutie sticks the ball on Mitchell for the touch.
Matthews quite complimentary to his rookie slot back yesterday and said we're learning more about him and we'll be using him more. Aaron Ruffin with the kickoff return for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Well, Urban Bowman took over for Don Southern a couple of weeks ago. The first thing he did, he said, was to call a veterans meeting. All the players, the core players who had played at least 5 years with the Tiger Cats. Only 6 guys showed up, so he changed his mind. He thought, well, we better get all the guys that have been here for at least 3 years just so they could have a quorum.
Yeah, everybody that's been critical of this team doesn't realize that if you remove 4 veterans from this team, they only average 2 years of experience across the starting group of the 24 players remaining.
Calvillo starts it from his 27. Down 7-3, looks for Winfield, and Donald Smith on the veteran receiver. Should finish the Winfield story. He has a job as a physical education instructor at a military base that starts tomorrow. And so he agreed to come out of retirement for 6 weeks. Has offered his services as a weekend player, but neither Urban Bowman, Anthony Calvillo, or Dave Archer thinks that's a good idea.
No, I think that would be very difficult on his teammates and especially his quarterback to try to get something going with him.
As good as Winfield has been, and he's been great in 11 years. 2nd and 5. Calvillo has Knight, and Lee Knight to the 40 has a first down.
Well, everybody that's seen Anthony Calvillo play knows he has the skills to get it done, but sometimes he wants to push the ball up the field. You saw him hedge. Watch him here. He's going to hedge like he's going to gun it up the field, and then he thinks, wait a minute. I got my veteran running back, Lee Knight, right here in the flat. I'm going to get myself a first down, and let's line up again and go again.
You had a great talk with Anthony Calvillo yesterday, and I think it takes one quarterback to understand what another's been going through.
I think Ricky Foggy has been a big help to him, Chris. I think that's a good point, that Foggy coming in's really helped him.
There's Calvillo on first down, in trouble. Got away from Andrew Stewart, but he won't get away from Demetrius Maxey. And Maxey has his 2nd sack of the season.
Well, this is something that this defense has not done very much. They're last in sacks, Toronto's defense, but they're number 1 overall in defense, which is a bit of an oddity. They play such great coverage and rally to the football that they really haven't gotten to the passer much. They give away the short pass, but here Andrew Stewart comes clean. Now it's a jailbreak and no place for Calvillo to go as Demetrius Maxey ends up with the sack dance.
Just their 16th sack of the year, and 5 of those have been against Hamilton. So a loss of 5, 2nd and 15. And Calvillo rips that one up to the 44. Ashante Smith with the catch. He has 2 in the game.
Well, again, that's the difficulty of this defense. If you get in 2nd and long situations, it was 2nd and 15 there. They're only going to give you the underneath throw. You have to take it and hope one of your guys can break a tackle. That time, Ashante Smith caught the ball, and Smith was right there to make the tackle.
And so it will be 3rd and 6, and the punting unit comes on for Hamilton. 8:35 to play in the first half. Paul Osbaldiston struck first with a field goal, missed on his 2nd attempt, and then the Argos on their last drive, which was 12 plays, 103 yards, scored a touchdown and lead 7-3. Mike Saunders has joined Pinball Clemens back, and Osbaldiston just gets that away. Here's Pinball from his 30. And look at Pinball somehow escape. And Eric Carter's finally going to chase him down at midfield. But Mike Pinball has been doing that for 9 years in the CFL. He gives the Argonauts great field position when we come back.
It was harvest time when a terrible accident changed John Paul's life forever. He was playing near a grain auger and fell onto the moving blades. Both his arms were severed. John Paul and other War Amps champs who have lost arms and legs in accidents appear on parade floats and television with a kids-to-kids warning.
Don't let it happen to you. Play safe.
Please call the War Amps about the materials available through the Play Safe program.
Play safe.
This morning, the sun rose and I woke up. Now I will cut the strings off my mittens.
I will get on the bandwagon and stay on it.
I will be curious.
The Cubans. I will build it, and they will come. I will be more than just a number.
I won't get in line. I'll start a new one.
And when the sun finally sets, I will be there.
Next.
Feel the effortless performance. Bask in the total comfort. Relax in the soothing quality. And above all, savor the peace and quiet. As long as you can.
Take the bright side of the road.
The new 1998 Toyota Camry. Take the bright side of the road.
Well, Pinball Clemens is one of these guys that makes so much happen when he has the football and when he doesn't. He had the football on that punt return. He made tremendous moves. Watch this. Not much that needs to be said. This is why he's called the Pinball. Makes a lot of people miss, Chris, just bouncing around in there.
And that's why he averages 222 yards a game. Here's Flutie looking deep and wide open is Mitchell, and he will score. Two consecutive Flutie to Mitchell passes for touchdowns, and the Argonauts, with a 55-yard strike, open up a 13-3 lead.
Larry Carter and Gerald Vaughn are having a very heart-to-heart conversation right now because Carter's the corner, Vaughn's the halfback, and somebody didn't get back into their deep third zone. And if you do that with a veteran quarterback that's thrown for as many yards as Doug Flutie has, you can see there's the both guys. There's Carter and Vaughn. One of them was supposed to be back, and that's pitch and catch for Doug Flutie. And Darrell Mitchell's got his second touchdown of the night.
They call him Mookie. In fact, they've got a formation now in the playbook, the Mookie formation for the rookie. I don't know if that was scored off the rookie formation, but the play sure worked, didn't it?
Yeah, Darrell Mitchell. This is Darrell Mitchell right here. Go ahead and roll it, guys. And here he comes. He's gonna. So you see both the corner and the halfback squat on the play. Well, there's nobody back there, and Doug sees that as well as anybody in this league. And you can't do that against this offense. If you give them big plays, this thing will get out of hand quickly.
And so Flutie, with 2 touchdown passes on the night, has 21 this season. And after a sluggish start, doesn't usually take Flutie that long to figure something out.
Well, this defense, their game plan had to be coming in. We're going to limit his opportunities to make big plays, make him put together long drives. He's only put together one big long drive in this game. Subsequently, the score was 7-3. Give him a couple of big plays like that, you got to realize your offense isn't generating the kind of offense you'd like. They're only averaging about 19 points a game. You need to minimize the big plays, keep yourself in the ball game.
Aaron Ruffin drops deep. 7:40 remaining in the first half. And at the early edge, the Ticats find themselves down, and Ruffin trying to give his offense good field position. And good run up to the 35-yard line. Well, we have happy news to report from Calgary. Derek Beatty, who was injured and taken off on a stretcher by ambulance from the opening game of our doubleheader, has been released from hospital and is returning to Edmonton with the team tonight. So that's a big relief and good news to pass on.
Yeah, let's applaud the people that took care of that operation too. All the medical staff and the trainers from both teams that handled that so well. And they do that to make sure that there's no injuries that happen between the field and the hospital. Great job by those guys.
Ticats go to work on offense. They fake to Amerson. Calvillo ducked under one, but Maxey's all over him again, and Demetrius Maxey has his, or check that, Andrew Stewart has the sack.
Well, this offensive front needs to step up now, and they need to protect, because this time Anthony Calvillo has a receiver open down the field deep, and this is where Calvillo wants to load it up. He sees him, but he just doesn't have a chance to load it up, and Andrew Stewart, who's forced one sack into Demetrius Maxey, this time gets his own.
And he has 3 on the year. Argos had 4 sacks in the last meeting between these two teams. Second down, Calvillo, and is it the completion? Adrian Smith was in coverage and said the ball wasn't caught, but Ashonde Smith gets the catch. It won't matter. At the 37-yard line, he's going to be well short of a first down.
Well, this is going to be a broken record, Chris, but you cannot make mistakes on first down against this Toronto defense because they fall off into what I call a blanket zone. They drop 8 and 9 people back. You just can't get the football up the field. You got to throw it underneath, and they're going to rally and make the tackle. This will be an all-day deal unless they're positive on first down.
So Osbaldiston gets set to kick to pinball for the second time in the last couple of minutes. Remember what pinball did last time he put his hands on the ball. Good kick by Osbaldiston, driving Clemens back to his 21. And he's dropped there. Good coverage by Cooper Harris, the former Argo, after a 50-yard punt by Osbaldiston. 6:05 to go, first half in Hamilton. 14-3 Toronto.
I don't just own my business. I am my business.
When you run your own business, there are no sick days.
I treat my customers the way I expect to be treated, like the owner.
Over the years, we've worked with thousands of small businesses, and we've learned something from all of them. Introducing Solutions for Small Business from Bell.
I am the last boss I will ever have.
Football's here, so bet on Proline.
DC Sports!
With its power to excite you, the way it feels in your hands, the beauty of its design, and its undeniable quality. This may be the treasure you've been looking for.
Take the bright side of the road.
The new 1998 Toyota Camry. Take the bright side of the road.
Yeah.
Football's here, so bet on Proline.
DC Sports!
Welcome back to our Labor Day doubleheader from Hamilton, and we'd like to at this time welcome our viewers to join us on our new CFL on CBC internet site. You can get some coaching tips, join the chat line with some of our commentators, even send some of your comments to our broadcast. There's the address, and there's an Argo, a friendly Argo here at Ivor Wynn. You might even get to see some of Dave Archer's favorite Southern cooking tips. How about chicken fried steak and gravy, mashed potatoes and gravy and red beans?
You got a cookbook going we don't know about?
Well, Mark must have visited the same restaurant I went to down in San Antonio, because boy, can they fry up that chicken fried steak. And I do have a couple recipes for that one.
Joe Montford looked a little hungry on this pursuit of quarterback Doug Flutie.
That's a super job by the defense. Montford comes in, pressures Willie Whitehead from the backside, and great coverage by the linebackers for the Hamilton defense.
That's only the second incompletion toss by Flutie, who has 137 yards and a pair of touchdowns. 2nd and 10. There's Whitehead trying to track him down. A completion in front of the Hamilton bench, but that'll be short of the first down. And the 36, Mike Saunders with the catch.
These two defenses are a mirror image of one another, Chris. If they limit the offensive production on first down, they fall into a zone, and it's very difficult to get the ball downfield. That's exactly what Hamilton wants to do, make Flutie throwing the ball underneath, rally to the football, and get to it.
That's why both of these defenses have been so tough all season long. Here's our perch at Ivor Wynn. Just one last note on the internet. The first hit on our internet site, believe it or not, came from an old Baltimore Stallion fan.
And, you know, that doesn't surprise me a bit. I had a chance to play Memorial Stadium a couple times, and I don't think they had less than 30 every time we played there.
Vanderjagt to punt with 5:05 left first half. Here's Steinhauer. And Steinhauer can't get loose at the 35-yard line. 47-yard Vanderjagt punt and a 5-yard return. Well, there's Lee Knight. I mentioned that game back in 1991. A 48-24 win by the Tiger Cats, their first victory of the season, and Lee Knight was terrific in that game.
Lee said this was the first game he ever started at fullback. And you can see why as he runs through people. And watch, here comes Donovan Osborne, or we'll keep calling Donovan Wright, one of his teammates that now is part of this team. I don't know why I want to call him Donovan Osborne.
I don't know, but we almost called Lee Franco Harris there.
It was a great run. He lit up when we talked to him about that play.
Here's Ricky Foggy into the game, and he throws his first pass against his old teammates incomplete. So Ricky Foggy's in. This is not a major surprise. Urban Bowman talked about giving the veteran a look, in the Argo defense a different look tonight.
Well, Ricky was really excited to play a couple of weeks ago against Montreal in his first game back from the Arena League. I talked to him before the ball game, and he was hoping to get some time tonight. He was hoping to be in a situation where he could still make an impact on the game. He's in, and he can definitely make an impact here.
Calvillo will watch, but he will be back in before the night is done, unless Foggy really lights it up. 2nd and 10, here comes the rush. Ricky is elusive, and that one is dropped off the fingertips of Archie Amerson.
Now the strengths of Ricky Foggy are that he's a veteran quarterback, and he has the ability to move. First play was a bad play, 2nd and 10. This time you're going to see his ability to make some people miss. Here comes Reggie Givens, runs right by him, and now here's a super throw, puts it right on Archie Amerson, and the young kid's got to make that catch for him.
So it's 3rd down, and the Tiger Cats unable to get anything going. And you look back to their first 2 possessions, they get a field goal, and then they got into field goal range again, did not get any points, but their inability to score when they're down in the opposition's territory like that has haunted them all season long. Clements letting this one bounce, and is drilled to the turf at the 44 with 3:43 to go. Donovan Wright happened to be on the tackle.
There he is.
AC watching on the sidelines. Nothing wrong with those numbers, and I think we should make it clear Urban Bowman has not pulled him.
And what I like to see about Anthony Calvillo is that he's up on the sidelines and he's very much involved with what's going on. And I guarantee you, Urban Bowman and Don Blackwelder, the offensive coordinator, have talked to him and let him know that they're not yanking him out of the game. They're just going to give him a chance to watch a series or 2 from the sideline.
Calvillo said a turning point for him this year was when he was pulled in Montreal a few weeks ago after a dreadful start, but when they went back to him in the second half. Here's Drummond at the 49-yard line, and he has 5 to 6 yards. Mike Philbrick, whose dad also played for the Tiger Cats, with the tackle.
Well, one thing that begins to happen, if you go 2 and out on offense, that means your defense has to play a lot of the time. This is a big offensive line that's in front of Doug Flutie and Robert Drummond on the Toronto side of the ball, and they can begin to wear you down. So a big stop here from Hamilton. Hamilton's offense is going to have to come on and make something happen, let this group rest.
That's why the Hamilton defensive numbers are so amazing this year, as they've been on the field in some games 35 minutes. Flutie, and he misfires with Clements, who was being watched by Frank West, and that will be 3rd down Toronto. 3-minute warning's been given to both benches. Here in the first half, Argo's on top.
The more solidly a car's built, the less it vibrates. The less it vibrates, the quieter it is. Shh. Speed 60 kilometers per hour. Sorry. Conclusion. Very quiet, which means our new Malibu is very solid.
The new Malibu from Chevrolet.
Always going for birdie. Going for birdie, 1 stroke away. 1 stroke. Oh, guys, drop the clubs. Good day, come. There's no problem here. What do you think you're doing here? Nothing. Whose clubs are these? I don't know. We found them here. Some kids. Hey, the city didn't build this place, so you could come in here with your golf clubs and ruin it. Now move it. Let's go. Get your stuff and put it in the car. Come on. Oh, come on. Now, ridiculous. So can we pick up this stuff at the station? At the auction. Man, the man. That's not fair. Good. Great. Just perfect.
Demographic
This afternoon, I double-clicked my cranium and opened my mullen. Now I will fake left and go right. I will follow my heart. I will be brave. I will make my mark. I will take no prisoners. I will dare to be damned. I will defy the laws of gravity. I will go the distance. And I will remember where I came from. Next.
Welcome back to Hamilton. One of the tenets of pro football is to never show a weakness, never reveal a vulnerability. Tonight at the half, former quarterback Matt Dunnigan lets down his guard to talk about life after football. It's a revealing account of a quarterback forced out of football by a concussion and now beginning a new career as a coach. We'll have that as well as the first half analysis. Gentlemen?
Yeah, you'll want to see the feature that's been prepared on Matt Dunnigan. Vanderjagt with a booming punt. Wilhite going to let that one go through the end zone. And this will be a single for Mike Vanderjagt and a 15-3 Argo lead on the 80-yard punt. Well, we know what Matt Dunnigan went through. Did you ever have an injury or a concussion that made you think about the end of your career?
I was fortunate enough, Chris, not to sustain a concussion, and they can come at any time. You take a shot, it might be just an inadvertent shot. A guy gets a knee in the head or something, but if anybody ever doubted that Matt Dunnigan could play football, he didn't know anything about football, because this is one of the great heart guys of all time. You saw him banging heads with offensive linemen, and Chris Walby, our colleague who was out in Calgary, used to play with this guy, and I used to love to watch the guy play as a player on the other side of the field because he played with a tremendous amount of emotion, and boy, could he play the game.
And you'll see a lot of that emotion in our halftime interview. 2:26 to go. Ticats have to get something going on offense with Ricky Foggy at the controls, and he has a strike to Earl Winfield coming back for the ball and tossed to the turf by Donald Smith. Marcelo Simmons around to help out.
Well, whenever you're struggling on offense as a quarterback, I think you might want to get to a veteran receiver, and there's none better than this guy, number 1, Earl Winfield. Earl's going to catch his fall. Now he's going to try to spin inside and make something happen, but he got 9 yards on the play, or 8 yards on the play. Good positive play on first down.
2nd and 1. This is where Anthony Calvillo said Earl Winfield can really be dangerous on the 2nd and short, but Hamilton will just settle for the first down here on the plunge. Mike O'Shea around the football as he stopped Lee Knight. The Toronto Argonauts have allowed 30 fewer first downs than any other team in the league, and that's the stat that's real important to Don Matthews, because that means Doug Flutie's getting the football right back in his hands very quickly.
Yeah, you're not moving the football much if you're not getting very many first downs, and this team limits first downs like no other team in the league. In fact, teams average only 15 first downs a game against this defense.
There's Foggy looking for Winfield, passing behind him. Well, what Hamilton needs is a little arena football offense. Ricky Foggy played in a game this year where he threw 9 touchdown passes and they scored 91 points.
Unbelievable. He said they played 12 games this last season in the Arena League, and he threw 56 touchdown passes, and he was, as you see, Herb Bowman, and there's Les Brown, the DB coach for this team. He said he wasn't even the top 3 of the league.
2nd and 10 for Hamilton. Here comes the rush. They pick it up nicely. Winfield comes across, and Mike O'Shea nails his old teammate well short of the first down.
Well, Earl's coming underneath the coverage, and again, everybody's dropping off, and if O'Shea's making the tackle on a wide receiver, that tells you that the linebackers are getting some depth. You see the linebackers dropping back. There's Benson. Here comes O'Shea up to make a nice, clean, solid tackle.
So O'Shea and company do not allow back-to-back first downs, and Paul Osbaldiston returns for his 5th punt of the game. Hamilton Tiger Cats 1-8 at the midway point, and they still have not won a game here at Ivor Wynne this year.
It's a good job by the punting team eating as much clock as they can before they get the punt off.
And now trying to angle the punt, but pinball's there at the 17. Now looking for the seam, and he's drilled down at the 22-yard line. Justin Ring with the tackle. One of the interesting sidebars to this game is that guys on opposing teams are rooming together. Val St. Germain and Mike O'Shea. That's a kind of an interesting twist to the Labor Day battle. But Herb Bowman doesn't see anything wrong with that. He says you want to beat the guy you know even more than the guy you don't know.
That's right. He's got to sit down to dinner with him every night. The thing I find interesting about Mike O'Shea, and I think special about him, is the fact that he's got 13 special team tackles this season. That leads the team. And when you've got guys of his caliber making plays on special teams, it transcends the whole game and really feeds energy to your football team.
Well, maybe a big series here for the Hamilton defense, trailing by 12. Don't want to give up any more before halftime. Drummond pushed out in front of the first down marker by Steinauer at the 30-yard line.
Well, Doug Flutie will go to his no-huddle operation now. Actually, he's going to have them huddle up, a little mock huddle here to try to get them distributed before they're going to go to a short yardage offense is what they're going to do. And I'm having trouble splitting that one out, but they're going to go to a bigger group to try to get the first down. A lot of time here, minute 3 left on the clock, but he loves to spread the defense as Don Matthews has got the crew in the game that he wants. Intense guy right there. You can even talking to him away from the game. Intense individual.
2nd and 2. 3 receivers go in motion right side. They give it to Drummond. Big hole opened up off that right side, and Drummond has the first down and a whole lot more up to the 42. Frank West finally brought the big running back down.
Immediately they shuttle in the receivers and take out the big guys from the short yardage play, and Doug Flutie's going to hand to Robert Drummond, which he's done many times. They pull the backside guard, and you see that offensive line just blowing off that defensive front as Calvin Tiggle was not able to slide over and make the play. Drummond hits it up in there for about 15.
Far more efficient first half for Doug Flutie than in the last start against Saskatchewan when the Argos scored only 6 points. He threw 3 interceptions, and at halftime went to Don Matthews and said, who was the idiot playing quarterback for the Argos? Well, he bounced back in the second half with 3 touchdown drives.
Well, he made a couple of big plays early in the game. It's kind of got him into the ball game, and what you want to do is try to keep Doug Flutie confused and keep him out of the game. You see him trying to get everybody distributed here, letting everybody know down the line as he's got his team strung out across the field what he wants them to do.
Using the whole field and finding Daryl Mitchell underneath. And Mitchell has been the most dangerous receiver for the Argos, down to the Hamilton 40-yard line. The safety, Aaron Ruffin, with the tackle. 45 seconds on the clock.
This is just a great throw. Because they've got 6 receivers strung out across the field, it's spreading the defense, and it spread the seam out open there. Doug was able to thread the ball into Daryl Mitchell, and Aaron Ruffin was unable to get over.
Mitchell now 6 catches, 115 yards. And an injured Tiger Cat down. Looks like Ruffin was shaken up, and Rob Hitchcock will come on to take his spot. Hitchcock was the starting safety for the first 7 games.
Well, right here, that's a one-sided conversation. Don's talking about things that Doug already knows about it. Rob Hitchcock, I hate to say this, but Rob Hitchcock last year got his first career interception against me. Picked off a pass for me here at Ivor Wynn. The first game of the year last year actually led to a score for them, but he's an intense player. He was sat down by Joe Moss, the new defensive coordinator, in favor of Aaron Ruffin and a little bit more speed, but Urban Bowman has said that Hitchcock is playing with even more aggression. He's an intense guy and playing great for him on special teams, and it's great to be able to turn the reins over to a secondary to a guy that's played as much as Rob Hitchcock has.
And we're placing a call to the Guinness Book of World Records. The first quarterback ever to admit to throwing an interception, Dave Archer. There's the defensive coordinator, Joe Moss, who's been around this league for a long time.
Well, Joe's a guy that likes to play man coverage and pressure the quarterback, but I see a little bit more Don Southern defense here than I see Joe Moss defense. And that's simply because you got to make sure that Flutie has to throw the ball underneath. If you play man coverage, Flutie's going to hurt you.
Got the leading interceptor of all time, Les Brown, with Joe Moss, and in the background, Terry Greer, the great former Argo receiver, helping out on the offensive side of the football for Hamilton. Here's Flutie now, looking over the middle. Andre Kerwan with his first catch. And the rookie has the Argos in business down around the 15-yard line with 34 seconds to go. Doug Flutie picking apart this highly rated Hamilton defense.
And that's a great way of saying it. He is picking apart this defense because he's spreading it and sending 6 people into the coverage, and he's finding open people, not to mention the offensive line giving great protection up front.
And now Flutie, 14 of 17. Couple of touchdowns, and out of the shotgun. Looks over the middle, Mike Clemens to the goal line. Touchdown, Toronto.
Well, a lot of times when you get down in the scoring zone, your attitude changes on defense. Can't play off, want to put some pressure on the quarterback. That's exactly what happens here. The pressure does not get to Flutie. Pinball Clemens runs a crossing route underneath, got a little rub. Not many people can run with Pinball when he catches the football and he powers it in.
He's got a ball for Raven Simone. And a touchdown for the Argos of 17 yards.
Well, you see Doug's eyes immediately goes to Pinball as soon as he sees man coverage. Frank West is not close enough to make the play, and Meldon Aldridge and Eric Carter get there a little too late, but we talked about man coverage. Doug immediately finds Pinball Clemens.
Came into the game with 63 catches last year, led the CFL with 116. And Clemens into the end zone via the pass for the 5th time this year. And after that,
buddy. Awesome. I love you.
Great start by the Ticats. It's been all Don Matthews and the Toronto Argonauts.
Well, we talked about this guy being a good guy and a community guy. There's not many guys that catch a touchdown pass.
Girl, Raven, just born on Thursday.
He'll go over and talk to everybody in the crowd as he tributes it to his new little girl back home. And that'll be a good one to show her when she's old enough to understand what's going on.
5 plays, 88 yards, 47 seconds. That's a fairly impressive 2-minute drill.
That's a super 2-minute drill.
Man.
22-3.
We call him Mookie. So everybody out there watching the 8-7, Mookie is his name.
There's the Mookie formation.
And Rachel, that's my 3-year-old. Love you.
Dave, you take the rest of the night off. We'll just leave it at
really,
Pinball's end.
Pinball's doing a heck of a job down there. But how about a guy catches a touchdown pass and then goes in and starts pumping one of his teammates? That right there will indicate what kind of guy Pinball Clemens is.
Well, they grounded out one scoring drive of 103 yards. The next touchdown was a lightning bolt to Mitchell. And now the 2-minute drill executed perfectly. And the Ticats chasm gets even deeper.
Well, this Hamilton team has gotten pushed around here in the second quarter. 2 long drives, and of course the touchdown catch by Clemens on the last drive. What you'd like to see in that plays category is about 10 or 12 plays. That's what they made him go in the 103-yard drive. This time Flutie strikes in 47 seconds. That's not what that defense wants to do. They want to string out the drive, make them put a lot of plays together.
Heads, Kevin! Heads!
Kinnever comes over and gets in the face of Mike O'Shea. 2X teammates right there.
Doesn't matter on Labor Day whether they played together before or not. Here's Foggy airing it out. Winfield jump ball, can't bring it down, and Lester Smith has the pick. They'll spot Smith at the Argo 47, and the Argonaut safety has his 2nd interception of the season.
Well, you got to credit Donald Smith here because he goes up with Earl Winfield. This is a good matchup because Earl Winfield's is 6 feet, 180 pounds, and Smith 6 feet, 190. So this is a classic matchup right here. Earl, tough time to go up over a guy that's the same size, and he rips it out of there. You see the left hand rip it out of there, and Lester Smith there for the tip drill.
They have 2 Smiths on the corner and a Smith at safety, and the Argos call it their Bermuda Triangle. They say receivers and balls get lost when they get in that vicinity of the field.
I'll tell you what, that ball was caught before Donald Smith ripped it out of there, and Lester came over and made a nice play.
Surprisingly, the Argos, you talked about sacks, low totals. They're 7th in the league in takeaways, the highest rated defense in the league, but they have not stolen the ball a lot this year. Flutie gets his hands on it with a couple of seconds to go, and they'll just hand it off to Robert Drummond, and that will do it for the first half. So Hamilton, a promising start. Urban Bowman had 5 to 7 good minutes, and then the defending Grey Cup champions took over on their turf.
Well, Don Matthews has to be pleased with the way the team responded. After struggling early in the game, they put everything together. Doug working on all cylinders, and the defense playing as strong as ever.
Flutie 15 of 18, 218 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Argos lead at the half.